Okay, it's finally here, y'all. I've been promising to do this amortization video on your mortgage, on how you can take control and take back the majority of the interest that you're paying to the lender. This video is not about fighting about the pros and the cons. I talked about that in a previous video. This video is strictly to show you this beautiful, powerful calculator and to show you how beautiful and powerful it is to be in control of your own money when it comes to taking back the majority of this interest that you're going to be paying out on this mortgage. Now, don't be shocked when I start showing you these numbers. So you may want to take a seat because this one's going to knock you down. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And it's right here. I would say let me know when you can see my... Oh, I already had it pulled up. Okay, that's fine. And let me get myself out of the way. All right, this is the infamous website, but before I get here, and I'm going to use the same numbers I used in the TikTok video that I did about a year ago, but the website is called bankrate.com. And when this pulls up, you want to go to mortgages. You want to come down to amortization calculator. Click on it. And we're also going to click on schedule because that's going to give us the good stuff that I'm going to show you. And I'm going to use those same numbers I used in the video. So I used an example of a $400,000 loan. It's going to be amortized over 30 years, and we're going to use an interest rate of 7%. And of course, we're going to expand this box down here. And of course, somebody's trying to get in touch with me. We're going to expand this box down here. And now we're going to get into it. So that payment on this loan in the last video was $2,661. Oh, we're only talking about principal and interest. We're not talking about the taxes and insurance. Just principal and interest. That's all we're concerned about today. Okay. So let me scroll down and show you that in year one, and I'm going to expand this box so you can actually see principal and interest. You can see that in year one, out of that $2,661, you're paying $1,996 towards principal, and then interest is going to be $13,971.09. Your remaining balance, if we're starting with year one out of a 30-year mortgage, is $3,098.03. Well, how does that break down? Let's look at the numbers. Look at this, y'all. So in July, you're actually applying $300 out of $2,667, $327.88 towards principal, and $2,333.33 towards interest. Wow. And then in August, $329. Look at that. It goes up a whole $2 and some change. Look at that, y'all. And then interest is $2,331.42. So let me just stop right there because I don't want you to fall over on me. And if we get all the way down to December, you're still $337. And remember when I told you those first at least maybe 15 years or so, you're paying very little principal. The bank is going to get all their money up front in the very beginning. Look at all that big money they're getting up front. They're getting their money right now up front. So let me close this out and let me go down a couple of years. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see what happens in year 10. Wow, look at that. Now you're paying $500 $93.42. And interest, still pretty high, $2,067.79. So that's the year 10 on 235. So let's do 5 more years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the year 2040, now you're paying $841.25. I know this can look depressing and feel depressing and sad, but there's an upside on this. Let me tell you, we're finna get to the good stuff. But with that being said, let's scroll all the way down to the bottom. You see how you borrowed $400,000, but let me go back to the top. See, we borrowed $400,000, right? It's saying up here that the total cost of the loan is $958,36, and total interest paid was $558.36. Because if you add 400,000 to this amount, that's what you get here. So the total cost of the loan is this $400,000 plus all this beautiful interest here, $558,036 that the bank is going to get from you if you just maintain those same payments and don't deviate. Then for you borrowing $400,000, it's almost $1 million. Wow. 958,036. But that's okay. This is how you take control. This is how you take the power back. And they probably take this video down because these are the things they never share with you or show you. But I'm going to show you tonight. And you can do with this information what you will. But I'm going to show you tonight. So we already saw that we borrowed $400,000 and we're paying $558,000 in interest. This beautiful little box right here called additional amount to monthly payment. Now, even though you're paying extra on your principal, you still have to pay this same amount every month. So if it's an extra 200, it'll be 200 plus this you'll be paying out of your pocket. So it's 2,661 plus 200. So it'll be really $2,861. But remember what I told you in the video. The lenders will sometimes have you send that extra payment to a different location or a different place. You don't add the $200 to this and send it to them because guess what they're going to do? They're going to add that extra $200 payment over here to interest. You don't want them to do that. You want to send it separate with a separate notation saying, hey, I want you to add it over here to my principal. Don't add it over here to the interest. So let's put $200 in here, see what that looks like. Watch the magic. So when we add $200, even though it's calculating them both together, it's going to be separated out for the payments. So just by you doing an extra $200, look at what the interest did. Remember when we had 558? All because you're paying an extra $200 a month. Look at how much you reduced that interest by. Let me take that out again so you can see that. So you can really see it. Look at this. $558,000. Let me get my calculator out on that one real quick for you. Okay, so if we have $558,036 minus, remember we're going to put the $200 in there. And we're down to 431,418. You just saved $126,618 in interest. Think about that for a second. But that's you paying that $200 as you continue for the life of the loan. But let's go do you one even better. First, let me see how many years we knocked off. Always go to the bottom. So we're still we're in 2050. We just reduced the interest. We're still paying back the 400,000 and we're at 431,418. So let's go back and see if we paid, let's say $500. Look at the interest. Okay. So we're talking 328,000 versus 558,000. Let's scroll down to the bottom now. Now you see what the years did. It reduced the years that you have to pay it back, and it also reduced the interest amount. So now, instead of you paying back almost $1 million, it was like 948 something thousand. Look at it, 728. Let's do you one even better. I want you guys to play with this calculator. Let's say if we did $1,000. Ha! Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Interest paid now. 238,000 versus $558,000. Wow. So now your total cost of the loan is 638 versus 900 and something $1,000. Now let's look at how many years you shaved off. Look at this. Year 2041. So now you're paying back the 400,000. The interest you're paying now is 238,000. So imagine that every time you get some extra money. So let's say, I like playing with this. We just playing. Let's say you did $1,500. Ah, look at this. Interest paid is 188,551. Total cost of the loan is your 400,000 plus this. It's the 588. Now let's look how long it's taking you to pay it off. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years. You can have this bad boy paid off. And now you're taking control. So now let's open this up. So now every month, principal that's being paid is $1,800. That's in the beginning, because remember that the bulk of the money is going to be going towards interest in the beginning. But if you get down here to where it really shows, if you're still doing that, look at this. $3,300 going towards the principal, only 8 something going towards the interest. Can you see that? Isn't that amazing? Then as you get closer to the end, of course, it gets smaller and smaller. But remember, the bank is going to make the bulk of their money from the very beginning. So even when you get extra money in, you want to just, you dump it in here, and you're going to be eating up that interest that you're paying the bank back. And I just put 1,500 in there. I mean, I like to go all out and be putting numbers in here to see what stuff looks like. Look at that. So you can tackle this interest problem, even if you only did an extra, let's say, let's go back to 0. I wanted to show you something. So we're at interest paid 558. Even if you did an extra, I think we did $100. We said 558. Look, 485. Any extra amount, they tell you, oh, you can do an extra 2 payments a year. Who wants to do an extra 2 payments a year when we're trying to tackle this bad boy right here? So again, this website is called bankrate.com. And all you have to do is play with this amortization calculator, play with how can you get the majority of your interest back from the lender. If you got extra money, or if you just want to be paying this thing off quick, this will let you know how to get to 0 fast. And now you have more control over the money versus the lender just keeping you stuck and confined at 2 or 3 extra payments a month. You want to tackle this thing quick, you want to tackle it fast. But I promise you, as you pay extra on principal, you can quickly reduce how many years it's going to take you to pay this mortgage off. And then you get to take control over the interest that they have, because that's how they make the bulk of their money. For every loan that they put out there, the first 15 years, the bulk of the money is going towards interest. Very little is going towards principal. That's the game. That's the game. And they tell you when you refinance, you start the clock ticking all over again, unless you're refinancing to reduce it to 15 years or 20 years, or you're pulling out to pull some equity out. But that's also how you build equity faster as well. If you want to build equity quick, that's one way to do it. So I just wanted to show you that calculator. It's like a big hidden secret. Nobody talks about it. Even at the mortgage company or at the title company when you close on loans now. It used to be that they would put the cost of doing the loan, they put the full amortization schedule, and I guess it was scaring people because they didn't understand how to read it or what it was all about. But it's all about you taking control and taking more power and taking all of their interest out of their hands and putting it back into your hands. Now, do with what you will with that information. Like I said, there are schools of thoughts like if it's a very low interest rate, you don't really want to pay the mortgage off, you want to invest the money. Not everybody has money to invest like that, but there are ways that you can invest very little money to make it very big. And that's another video for another time. But in the meantime, play with that mortgage calculator and you will be amazed. You will surprise yourself. And if this video helped you to open your eyes to see, wow, I didn't really know that this is what was going on with my mortgage and that I can actually take control over the amount of interest that I pay to the bank and keep a lot of that interest for myself. Just drop in the comments, let me know. And I got some other videos, so I got to get out too. So have a good evening. Until next time.